Hello. Um, Welcome back. I just I wanted to kind of talk about my journey through building a computer through 2024 and 2025, um, and how easy it is versus how hard it is. And I'm not very smart, so if I can do it, anybody can. And spoiler alert, I that was cringe. Anyway, I did it. So I built it. So you guys can too. So everybody can build their own PC, not just me. Okay. So it's also it's also kind of fun to look through parts and stuff, and just gives you something extra to do. It's like a hobby. It's like another thing you can do. Um, it'll well, it'll affect your bank account, so that's probably a downside. Um, but it's fun. It's like adult Legos. If you ever played with Legos as a kid, it's like, and as adult, I guess it's like you're putting stuff together, and it's actually not as hard as people say it is. You do not need to buy a pre-built. You can do it in one night with little to no experience at all. Um, as long as if you follow the manuals you're given and you watch a YouTube video, you'll figure it out right away. You'll notice that you're getting it when there's a few times where you sorry for the sound quality and image quality. This is filmed on my iPhone, but you'll notice that you're getting somewhere when you realize that you turn off the video and pause it and go on to the next step in the video before the video gets to that part. That's when you realize that you kind of understand what's going on. When you don't even need the videos anymore and you just know what you're doing, it's a good feeling. Um, but man, it definitely sucks for your bank account. So yeah. Hello. Um, okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about. So the first step in building a PC is to find out what parts you want. And I have learned that it is very pricey. There's a lot of compatibility issues, and there's a lot of what's the saying where it's like the Chinese lamp, some saying like that, where anyway the point of the saying is that you keep chasing, you buy a part, and then you're like, that's not really the part I wanted, so then you return it, or you cancel your delivery, I guess, and you buy something better, and you keep doing that. It's like that's something that is tough to stop to not do. So I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it, but it is something that is a little hard to a little hard to avoid. So I'm going to put in on PCpartpicker. I'm going to put in all of the stuff that I have. So for my entire PC. So I'm going to go with the cooler. So this is okay. So this is the Be Quiet, which is really good, by the way. I am going to replace it. Sorry, but I'm going to replace it for an AIO simply because I want more airflow in my computer. And I love the CPU cooler, but I feel like it's blocking my case airflow. And okay, well, that's not really the reason. The reason why is it's big and it's kind of ugly. Sorry, but that's just the way I feel about it. So I'm going to replace this with an AIO. I'll show you what I'll replace it as. The first thing I got is the AMD Ryzen 7950. A very, very solid CPU. you'll see a lot of misinformation, or as I like to call, like, overused information, I guess. Stuff that isn't necessarily wrong, but isn't really right either. So if we look at this CPU, you'll notice something a little interesting. If you go to the ratings, there's a couple problems that people have with it, and it's heat resistance, value for money. First off, this CPU is pretty much always on sale, 31% off. I think that, for the record, I don't think the true value of the CPU is $700. I think it's like more like $650 or $600. But the fact that you're getting it for $480 is still a good deal. Still a pretty good deal. 16 core, 32 thread. It's not quite as good as the X3D ones, especially for gaming, but it's still really good, and it's better actually than the X3D CPUs at things like general production, I think streaming, and like just pretty much everything else. If you're building a PC and you're only using it for one thing, and that's gaming, then I would get like a Ryzen 7 9800 X3D. I would get this one. I guess something like this, it's just, you can get one for this amount right here. You can get it for 400. Wait, what? Somebody's getting scalped here. 530. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Well, it looks like the CPU market's also kind of, unfortunately, the current market echoes are affecting the CPU, CPU stuff. So $409 for a 7800 X3D. This is one of the most popular CPUs. You guys have to understand. I went from this is the processor I went from. It's actually a little bit older than this one. It's not like their newest model. But I went from literally a Core 2 Duo processor. I think it's this one. How much do you pay for this? $30 used. I went from this. I think mine came out in actually 2007. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. But I had a $20 CPU, and I went to this thing right here. I went to the fucking sorry. I went to the frickin' Ryzen 9 7950X, and if you have like a bad PC and you're upgrading to a big one, you won't really notice. Like, you won't notice the problems, is what I'm saying. So like if something says, well, heat resistance is bad, if your cooler is fine, you probably won't care. You probably won't care. You'll probably be like, all right, whatever, and you'll just suck it up because you knew what you had before, and what you have now is exceedingly better. If you have what you have now, though, for a long period of time, you'll probably want to upgrade. But right now, I mean, it's hard to be picky when you have it so good, I guess. So that's the CPU. There's nothing. The heat resistance, the temperatures on my CPU generally stay on idle temp. It stays between 40 and 60 degrees Celsius with the air cooler. With the Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 5. It's really good air cooler. One of the best you can get. I would even get this one over a Noctua, if I'm being honest. Just because of how easy it is to install. It's so easy to install. They come with their own thermal paste. They come with their own, like an extra fan you can put on it. I mean, it's so easy to install. And on the outside of it, you can even change it from performance mode to quiet mode to et cetera, et cetera. It's just so convenient to have. And then the motherboard is the MSI Pro B650P Wi-Fi ATX AM5 motherboard. Now this, $209 on freaking Amazon? Is that right? I don't think that's right. Oh, wow. Okay, 168 by used. Okay. Well, it's about 170 bucks. So it's an ATX motherboard, which, for the record, guys, shit. Okay. I took off. So for the record, you shouldn't really buy ITX motherboards. They're really expensive. So mini ITX. They're super expensive. The cases are really small, which is cool and all, but I mean, there is no benefit. There's no actual benefit to having an ITX motherboard versus an ATX motherboard. People like the smaller builds, I guess, but there is no actual reason to do it, if you know what I mean. There is no reason. Do not do it. Okay, don't buy a mini ITX unless you're rich or something. Even then, I wouldn't buy this unless you're looking for a mobile PC. If you're gonna move your PC from one place to another, a lot of times, and you want to do that, then I actually do support an ITX. It's a good idea then if you're always on the go. But it's just kind of a waste of money. Which except for specific situations, but it's sorry, that was a bad side tangent. The point is that you want to go for you want to look at ATX motherboards. The Tomahawk's pretty good. Pretty much any Tomahawk one. ROG Strix, they're all fine. The motherboard is if it has you have to make sure that it correlates with the CPU you're getting. If you're getting a Ryzen CPU, it's a newer one, you're most likely getting an AM5 CPU. Actually, you're definitely getting an AM5 CPU. If you're getting anything older, check to make sure if it says AM4 on the CPU. If it says AM4, you have to buy an AM4 motherboard. Every single motherboard has its own socket. There's AM4, AM5, LGA 1700, and LGA, prior. And the best choice right now is an AM5 motherboard. I have an affinity towards Intel because when I grow up, I like Intel. I like how it's mostly American-made products. I like how I like their intro. Dun, 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 dun. I like their boxes. Their CPU boxes are so clean, man. They're so good. But, I mean, there's no upgrade path right now. Do not buy. There is no reason to buy. Sorry, I'm not saying don't buy. Okay. There's just no reason to buy a 17th gen socket right now. Like an LTA 17. There is no reason. Because there's no upgrade path. The next Intel processors that are going to come out, the new generation, are going to be on an entirely different CPU socket. It's going to be a new generation of CPUs. There's no upgrade path for this. If you buy this motherboard, like right here, the MSI Pro motherboard, if you buy it, I'm sure you'll be fine with it, but it'll just make it that much harder to upgrade. There's not going to be a situation where you can really upgrade in the next 5 years, assuming Intel stays afloat, which I hope it does. Because regardless of what I feel about Intel products or what you feel about Intel products, it is in our best interest to make sure Intel survives because we need competition in the CPU market. We don't want AMD to have a monopoly, just like we didn't want Intel to have a monopoly on the CPU market, which they had for a while. For some years, but now it looks like they're getting kind of karma, but I hope they don't lose. So that's just the motherboard. I went with this one because it had the Wi-Fi I wanted. I had the Wi-Fi adapters, which by the way, I'll keep this one short. by the way, if you have a Wi-Fi on your motherboard, when you build your PC, okay, you need to buy. Hold on, where is it? Like, okay, I can't find it. But you need to buy, like, there should be an antenna on here, but I kind of broke it. There should be, you should need to get a Wi-Fi adapter, which is basically you plug it into your computer, and then, and even if you have the Wi-Fi, when you boot your computer, you need to plug in a Wi-Fi adapter into your PC, because when you first boot it up, it's not going to have the Wi-Fi drivers or Bluetooth drivers or any drivers you actually want or need. So you're going to run and you're not going to be able to do anything on your computer once you boot it up. The alternative is to go on your friend's computer or somebody else's computer, get a flash drive with all the files you need, and it's so much easier if there's another computer in the house, or like laptop. You plug in the USB, and you plug it in, and you transfer the files, and it'll install the Wi-Fi driver for you when you get to the added connection screen. So I bought this one because it was AM5. It's a high quality ATX motherboard. It has all the features I want. If I have an upgrade path in the future, if I want to do anything. And overall, it's a good motherboard, and I recommend it. I have no problems with it. So it's really good, and that's pretty much everything with the motherboard. Geez, I've been recording for 15 minutes. Oh my god, I've been ranting. I'm freaking yapping. Okay. So onto the RAM. Now this is going to be definitely shorter. I hope it'll be shorter. It should be shorter. Here's what I did. So I went with the Corsair Vengeance RGB, which I do like RGB. I'm sorry, but I just do. I know a lot of people don't like it. People don't really like that kind of thing, and that makes sense. It's up to you guys what you think. I understand, but I gotta do RGB. You don't understand. I just have to. I have an RGB keyboard and an RGB mouse. Okay, it was gifted to me. I did not choose this life. It chose me. So I kind of had to match it up with my keyboard and mouse, which were expensive when they were gifted to me. I bought this RAM. It's pretty simple. See, the thing with RAM is that if you're buying it from a trusted brand like Corsair, or like, I'll just look this one. I'll look up Crucial P3. No, not Crucial. Sorry, that's SSD. I'll get to that. Ripjaws, RAM, DDR5. Do not buy DDR4, by the way. Do not buy it. I guess I shouldn't say don't buy it. Okay, redact that. I don't say don't buy it. I just, I highly advise, please, government, do not arrest me. I highly advise, okay, this is not financial advice, but I highly advise you to invest your money into a DDR5 RAM sticks. Now, the reason why is because DDR4 are significantly older, and the DDR5 prices are not high enough to warrant you sticking to DDR4. So obviously you wouldn't upgrade your graphics card from like a 4070 to a 4090 because the price difference is so much higher. It's like 4 times as expensive or 5 times as expensive. Right now it's probably like 8 times as expensive. But the price difference here, I mean, let's look at a DDR4 versus DDR5. So let's look at G.Skill Ripjaw S5 series, DDR5 RAM, 64 gigabytes. Wow. Oh yeah, 232 gigabytes. $100. Okay, it's $100 for a DDR5. 6,000 It's 6,000. I want to say MTs a second, but I don't really remember what the MTs mean. It's memory speed, whatever. 6,000 memory speed. Let's look at DDR4. Got to make sure DDR4 2 by 16. Yep, that's right. Oh wow, they're not even in stock. $40. DDR4 for 4,000. 4,000. $40. Jeez. What about this one? $4,060. Yeah, it's literally $40 more. It's $40 more. There's no reason not to go for the DDR5. It's faster, and that's really it. It's just faster, and there's no reason not to get a DDR5 one. So, yeah. So, onto the storage, which is actually probably one of the easier ones to deal with as well. The real problem with Corsairs, with the SSD and storage market, the actual problem with it is that SSDs are kind of the only thing that you should buy. You shouldn't really buy hard drives. They don't last long enough. And hard drives, I wouldn't even deal with hard drives. They're way less expensive, but they degrade faster usually. They're not even close to as fast as an SSD. Even a SATA, it's not even close to a SATA. There are two things you should buy: SATAs and SSDs. Well, SATA is an SSD, but SATA or NVMe drives. Those are the only two things you should buy. An NVMe drive I would buy because it's only usually a little bit more expensive than a regular SATA drive. Sometimes a certain SATA model is more expensive than an NVMe, and it's so much more hassle to it's a little bit, not so much, but it's a little bit more of a hassle to figure out how to hook up a SATA storage drive, figuring out how to what plugin you use to actually plug it into the motherboard. It's just buy an NVMe. So I bought this one, 990 Evo Plus, 2 terabytes. It's $140, 24% off. Pretty good deal actually, for 2 terabytes. I bought this one and I have no problems with it. It's 7250 megabytes a second. It's really fast, and that is it. This is more subjective. As long as you buy from a trusted brand, or at least a brand you think you trust, and it's, decently fast, then, I would just get it, whatever your heart sings. Don't buy anything off-brand or off of some of those sketchy sites, but buy one on Amazon, for example. Get something you trust, and be prepared for your SSD and NVMe or especially your RAM sticks or any part that you get from your PC to be defective. Expect that. It's very possible that could happen. So it's actually there's not a great chance, but there's a little chance that you potentially a RAM stick will be defective, or you're buying like 9 parts in your computer that are all have delicate mechanics inside of them. Your motherboard, especially, your CPU, especially. Like things like that, where tiny problems in the manufacturing process completely ruin them, and it's just be prepared to RMA them back to your manufacturer if something's wrong. Look up the process on how to file a claim to get your money back. Do not let them scam you. Okay, do not let them scam you. So, on to the next thing, the graphics card. Now, this is probably something where I might get a little heat for this. Okay, so let's look at Amazon because it's the only place it's in stock. So, this is a 5070. It's a Gigabyte RTX 5070. I am going. This is the graphics card jump. I will hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta make sure you can see this. This, okay, this. Do you know what this is? This is a 1030 2 GB edition. I want to look this up actually. I want to see. It's PNY. The sticker, I accidentally removed the sticker on it because I thought maybe there was like wrapping on top of it and I accidentally removed it. But it is a PNY, I swear. There it is. This is it. $150 for used? Is that a joke? It's like a joke. Okay, well, this is what it looks like, okay? This is not a great graphics card. It is good for when it released, which I don't even remember when it released. I probably got this one like 2017, 2018. I don't even remember. 2 gigabytes. Just absolutely kind of horrendous graphics card. At least if you look at it now. Back then it was just meh. Just okay. But, you know, you got to get something better. Wow, this isn't even the... Oh, it is the 2 gigabyte version. Wow. Wow. You can sell this for $120. I didn't even know that. This is the box. I remember this box. This is the graphics card right here. This thing sucks. Don't buy it. Well, let me say this again. It sucks right now, but back then it was okay. But there's so much better pricing. You pay, I know it sounds like a lot. If you pay 3 times that for like a 4060, you're going to get like 10 times the performance. 5 times the performance or 10 times the performance. You're going to get like so much more cost per value for anything else in the future. Like this card is not very good. Let's look at the reviews actually. I want to see them. Functionality, value for money. Somebody paid $150 for $120 and they said a value for money. That's funny. So I just wanted to point this out. That is my graphics. That is the jump. So I'm going to the 5070, and I cannot stress this enough. This is going to be a massive jump. You're going to see a massive difference. All the games that you couldn't play, you can for some reason play. You just feel like nothing's right. Well, everything's right, I guess. You just feel real weird. It's just I went to a 5070. There are a few options I considered before 5070. Like, for example, the 7800 XTX. There is no 7800 XTX. The 7800 XT. I considered this one, which I ran into a couple problems. This is one of them. They're not in stock. You run into stock problems, things like that. It's a little overpriced, that kind of thing. And, yeah. So I considered this one. I considered the 7700 XT, which, again, is also running into problems like this. Just a lot of stuff I don't really want to get involved with. Uh, I could have sworn I looked at this one, and it doesn't even show shipping information, but I could have sworn that that this one said it could ship it to me, this graphics card. I looked up when it would be able to ship, and it said it could ship between like, oh wait, there it is. Last time I looked at this one, I swear to God, it said it could ship between May and October of this year. It could show up in October. Like, can you imagine that? I don't think it would. It would show up probably really early. But can you imagine waiting that long for a card that's, pretty decent actually, but it's just at that point, between that time that you're waiting to get the card, you can just get money to buy something, better in less time. So 1700 XT, it's being scalped right now to hell. 529, that's okay. It's pretty okay. So yeah, so you can get. So I was considering this one, but I ended up going with the 5070, obviously. Now this is also being scalped to hell. It's really bad, actually. So there's a lot of different options. Not a lot. I was joking. So $800, $700, $900, about $1,000. That's a TI. Almost $900. Sorry. It's just this one offer for $1,000. Oh my God, that's funny. They actually expect somebody to buy that. Anyway, what I ended up getting was this one, 5070. Now, I would like to say I did not pay $1,000 for this, okay? Or 800 or even 700 I didn't pay. I paid for this card, if you include taxes, I only paid about $100 over MSRP, which is pretty good. Which is actually not pretty good. It's really good in this graphics card market. I only paid $660 for this. Now, I'm not going to count taxes, so what I actually paid for was about $600, which is about $50 over MSRP. $50 over MSRP, that is insane, especially for this card. I paid for $50 over MSRP. I got a really good deal when I bought it. This had actually just come out when I was looking at the market, and this came out right as I was looking, and it was a good deal, so I bought it. So I don't have any regrets on the graphics card. There's a couple things that I don't look forward to with this graphics card, mainly with the PCIe slot. As far as I know, it comes with an adapter. I don't even want to deal with it, being honest. I don't even want to deal with it. What I'm actually thinking about doing is replacing like two different things in my computer. I'm going to replace the power supply and the cooler. Those are the only two things that I'm really going to replace. And I guess I'll probably replace some fans, because the fans I got are good, but they're not like great. I wish they were a little bit better at pulling in air quality, and I wish they had higher RPMs capability. I think that would be nice. But yeah. So I hate talking about stuff like I know what I'm doing, because I don't know everything, or even like half of what's going on, but I'm just showing what happened to me when I was looking at stuff and what I had to consider. Cases. Now, there's actually some options to this. This is the one I got, but then again, I mean, for the record, just look at like high-rated like cases, like maybe on PCpartpicker. You'll find you'll find some good stuff. RS pre-installed RS AirGB. I should have bought this fan, this case, to be honest. I should have bought this case, but I did not. I bought this though. So I bought $100 for used. I bought this one on sale, so I did not pay like. I definitely got my money's worth. I paid like $80 for this. I think actually it was less. It was like 70, I think. It was something. It was like that, around that much. It's like $30 under what it was supposed to be. This is during Cyber Monday. I paid for it at Cyber Monday, and this case is really good. Surprisingly, it's pretty good. It comes with two 120 millimeter fans, which is nice. The layout of the case is nice. They took some horrible photos. There it is. So this is the layout of the case. You can only really fit the highest AIO you can fit up here is 280 millimeters. As you can see, with low profile memory. So if you have like RAM sticks, make sure it's low profile memory, like memory sticks. But you can't put like a 360 millimeter radiator up here. You can't do that. So make sure that if you actually get this case, you remember that. For the record, I would put like 240. You don't have to deal with fitting issues or things like that, and it looks fine if you put like 240, like a 240 like AIO on there. But I'm going with 240 one later, but it's it's fine. 280s though is the perfect amount. But yeah, this case is pretty good, bang for your buck. There's other case options, but I mean, that's just what I went through, or went with. Sorry. Airflow renewed. Oh wow, renewed. Ha. Guys, don't buy. I said it again. I can't say that. I don't know if I can get sued for that, or probably not. But I don't want to even try. Okay, hypothetically. Probably don't buy renewed or used, especially cases. I wouldn't even buy any used like PC parts. I might do like a graphics card because the graphics card market is crazy right now, but if you can buy new and you can afford it, buy new, okay? Do not buy used. Buying used is a little risky. It's weird. You don't know like what the previous owner did with the thing, and they might have screwed something. They might have done something wrong. They might have hurt it a little bit, in a way that it could bite you in the ass. It's just if you can, buy new. So this is the renewed. This is the renewed version, and yeah. So I would just buy a new one. There's no reason not to. It's like $10 extra. Okay, just buy a new one. You don't have to take the headache of getting a refurbished one and finding something wrong in the future, which you might. You might find a strip screw or something, or like one of the side thingies that hold the glass panel or the back panel are like broken. It's just little things that kind of ruin the whole case that are like really minor, but the minor things stack. So let's look at power supply. This is a little confusing. So this is the one that I plan to go with right here, I think. Sorry, not this one. So first off, I'm going to show you the one I went with. I went with this one. It's the CX750M. So it's 750 watts. It's a bronze rated power supply. It's it's okay. It's quiet actually, and overall it has decent reviews. I'll look at this one right now actually on Amazon. DM bronze. Non-modular. Okay. This first take that you guys might not agree with. Okay. This is you guys might not agree with this. Do not buy non-modular, which I guess nobody should disagree with that. It's obvious. Don't buy non-modular. Buy either fully modular or semi-modular. I wouldn't even really buy semi-modular unless you really wanted to. There's not really a benefit to having a semi-modular power supply, and the jump from a gold semi-modular power supply to a gold fully modular power supply isn't really like a big jump. But I have this one. I think there is gold semi-modular power supplies, I think, right? Or is it only bronze and silver get semi-modular? Hold on. There's only wow. Oh, there it is. Yes, there's gold semi-modular. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. This is a stupid tangent. Doesn't matter. I would just buy a semi-modular, like gold, silver, bronze one, or buy fully modular. And this is the one I have. But I do not really want this one, mainly because bronze power supplies have one of the worst electricity. Where's the chart? Electricity power out. No, that's not the chart. Efficiency. There it is. Has one of the worst efficiency ratings of all the power supplies. I think it's the worst actually. It goes bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then titanium. I think titanium. They have titanium power supplies now, I think. But maybe that's more like a gimmick. I don't know. But this is what I'm planning on replacing it with, because I kept seeing something on line where people were saying, well, if you buy a higher PSU than what you need, then it could break your system or something like that. I saw something like that, and I did some research and realized that that's totally false. It's like an urban legend. It's a myth. It's not true. Okay? Dude, I wouldn't buy like a 1500 watt PSU when you know you're only going to be using like 600 or 700 or 800 or even 900. I wouldn't buy a 1500 watt power supply because I don't think that anything will explode in your system, okay? There's probably not going to be any problems, but you don't even need to spend the money to get a power supply like that, okay? Don't even spend the money. It's not worth it. There's no point, okay? It's stupid. Don't do that. I'm going to buy Corsair because I'm more of a Corsair person. Buy new. Fully modular, 850 watts. This is the one I'm probably going to get in the end. It has a native 2x6 12 volt slot, which is good for the 50 series graphics card. It's something that I'm actually going to have to use right now. It's good for that. So I am going to buy this probably in the future. It's like $130. I'll buy it very soon. I'll replace my current one, my current power supply. It's just a mistake I made in building it. These are the mistakes. Yeah. So if your system runs like 600 watts, I would get like an 850 power supply. Get at least a couple hundred to a few hundred more watts than you think you'll need, and make sure it's at least gold rated. This is a personal preference though. If you buy a good bronze model, you'll have virtually, if you're not paying the electric bill, you'll have no idea about the difference between the two. You'll have like no clue. But unless you're like intensely overclocking, I think, then you might have an issue. But Um, but then you might maybe not have an issue, but you'll see the difference between the how good the gold rated ones, the bronze rated. But I would buy gold because, if you're paying the utility bill, um, the electric bill, then I mean, there's no reason. It's not too much extra, and it'll save you a lot of money in the future. They're quiet and they're nice. So yeah, I'd buy something like this. This is the one I'm gonna get soon. So I'd buy that. That's I think all the parts. I'm gonna look at like miscellaneous stuff. So Windows 11 costs $146, right? Buy Windows. Buy the retail version of Windows. Just kidding. Don't do that. Okay. I'm not going to say pirate Windows. But yar, matey. Yar. That was bad. That was stupid. But, I'm not going to say pirate Windows, but, maybe research it. Just do whatever it takes not to pay the full $150 for Windows, okay? Don't buy it like don't buy it at that price. That's all I'm going to say. Monitor. If you're just building like a general use PC with some gaming, I guess you want to do, I wouldn't even buy like a 4K or sorry, not 4K or even a 1440p. I just buy like a 1080p, like a 1080p monitor. Just buy like a 1080p monitor, about $130. You can get literally a Spectre one for like $80. Maybe even less. It's like 70 actually, or sorry, Scepter. $66, 75. Wow, for 5 millisecond response time. This one costs half of what mine costs and is a little bit better. That's a little sad. Oh wait, no, not this one. That one's not even 1080p. That's sad. Wow, 1080p, 27-inch, 60 hertz for 5 millisecond response. That is, wow, okay. I would get a 1440p monitor. There's no reason not to. Wow, this is $144 for a 1440p monitor, 165 hertz. That's not right. Something's wrong with that. I don't believe that. But yeah, I would just, it's pretty, you can't really go wrong with this. Just get like Scepter or like, a named brand that you know of that you like. And yeah, make sure it's new. Don't get an old monitor, because you'll notice a problem with old monitors is that if you have your graphics card, even if you don't have your graphics card, if you buy any new motherboard, the new motherboards no longer come with, I don't have a monitor to show you right now, but the monitor that I have right now has don't want to open that. It has the little like VGA connector. That's what it's, VGA. New motherboards usually don't actually have the VGA connectors or the plugins anymore. Which the monitor I have is a VGA one. So you'd have to buy an adapter, or what I would do is just buy a new monitor. Make sure it's a newer one that has an HDMI plugin that you can plug it in into your monitor, and yeah, that's it for monitor. Peripherals, headphones, my speakers, webcams. I guess we can look at like other peripherals. So case accessories. There's only 2? Huh? That's not true. So let's look at case fans. So I want to say these fans, the Q-Link QX120 RGBs, I might get these. They're very expensive, $132, okay? It's wildly overpriced, in my opinion. Yes, absolutely, I agree. But I even think that. But they're really easy to set up. You can change with the hub that comes in your AIO. You can plug the fans into the IQ hub, and you can customize it on the software, which software kind of sucks, but it's fine. It's passable. And you can customize them, and and they don't look bad. They look really pretty. So, yeah. And Corsair's a trusted brand. You know you're getting quality, and these will last you a while. They won't just burn out quick. So that's my endorsement for Corsair products. They're freaking expensive, but at least they're good. So that's good. They're not always. Granted, they're not always good enough to justify their price, but they're usually good enough to where they'll last a while. So, yeah. The second thing I was going to say was, let's actually look here. What I was thinking is a Thermal Grizzly AM5 contact frame. Now, this is for the CPU socket. Most CPUs have that, like, on their motherboard, have that latch. I'll just show you. Have this, like, latch on it right here. So, right here, it's that latch. If you remove this socket, this little, like, socket AM5, like, plastic protector, the reason why it's on there is it protects the pins on the socket. But oh, by the way, if you take this off, do not throw this away. Make sure you keep this part. Some motherboard companies, I think MSI is actually one of them. If you arm one of the pins is broken on the motherboard or something's broken, if you remove this, you can't send it back. Like if you throw this away, you probably won't be able to send your motherboard back if something's broken on it. Like they will not accept it. So this tiny plastic piece, I know it's ridiculous, but this tiny plastic piece, keep it, okay? Keep it in the box. There's no reason not to, and it's better just not even to risk it. Don't even risk the problem. But it's for the contact frame, and you don't really need it on AM5 motherboards because the AM5 socket, because of the dimensions of the AM5 chip, the socket keeps it actually incredibly even. And the bending, I think there's a little bit of bend, but it's not enough to justify getting one. Because obviously it's I don't think it's exactly perfect. Like obviously the CPU will bend a little bit in the socket. Like it's not supposed to do that, but it will do that. But what you need a contact frame for is the Intel ones. The Intel 17th gen processors, you need a contact frame, okay? If you get a 17th gen Intel, which I don't recommend, but if you get one, buy a contact frame for it, okay? Because they will bend because of the dimensions of the CPU. They will bend, and after just a couple of years or a few years of use, you will have problems because the tiny bends add up. They add up, and eventually some of the contact pins, not contact pins. So some of the pins in the socket will not be coming into contact anymore with the CPU pins, like the pins on the CPU, the transistors. It's not gonna. They bend a little bit, okay? So just, I can't diagram it, but it's like. I can't diagram it. I'm trying to think of a way to show you, but it's tough. Just think of it as this is the CPU, right? So it's like this. The CPU is like a square in between my fingers, okay? I guess like this. The CPU, so this is the CPU, and it bends like this a little bit. Like in the socket, it bends like this slowly. This is exaggerated, but bends like this. And it you want to buy one of these because it keeps it, level and everything like that. And first off, it'll protect the components of the CPU, and also it'll protect anything like if you put thermal paste on the CPU, it'll make sure that no thermal paste, gets into the crevices of the CPU socket and potentially, block stuff or break stuff. So that's good. Especially, for the record, this is especially good. I'm pretty sure this is actually needed as well. You'll need obviously something a little bit different, but one of these I think there's one special for this, but if you use a conductive thermal paste or like thermal like material, if it's conductive, you will need one of these. Do not use like a thermal like material that's conductive without one of these, because it will fall off and a conductive one will actually break your computer. The reason why thermal paste is you don't have to worry about that with thermal paste. What you have to worry about is it getting into the cracks and crevices of your motherboard, and that creates problems. They're not the worst ever, but you just avoid it. You shouldn't put enough thermal paste on your CPU to even run into that. But it's just a thought, okay? So, yeah. So you want to go and grab one of those. Trying to think. I think that's really it. I think I yapped for almost an hour about stupid stuff. That is everything, I think. Oh, wait, no, there's one more thing. Here's something I also endorse. Grizzly. Thermal Grizzly is really good. Okay? Very good. Oh, you can put thermal paste on Xbox and PS5? I didn't even know that you could do that. Huh. I didn't know you could do that. That's kind of cool. Thermal Grizzly has really good thermal paste. I would buy one of these. Get something like this. Now, for the record, guys, if you are not overclocking, this doesn't really matter. You can use, as long as you put thermal paste on it and it's okay, your CPU and your entire system will last a lot longer than you think if you're not overclocking. If you're using your PC, not much, and you're playing games, but you're never overclocking, you're not overvolting your CPU, you're not your GPU, you're not cranking up the RPMs on your fans, you're not like trying to push your system to the limit, your system will last forever. You're not forever, but like 10 years. Your system will last a long freaking time. And it's so it doesn't matter that much. I would use this though because reduces the temp by a lot. In case you are overclocking, might as well have it, because the way you feel now about overclocking might not be how you feel in the future when you see your frames. You might be dissatisfied, and you might want to use to overclock. So yeah, I think that's everything actually. I'm pretty sure that's everything, but I don't know. I think there's more stuff I could do. Oh yeah, my AIO. So this is going to be my AIO cooler, the new one that I'm getting. I was a little nervous to get an AIO, but I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. AIO. Unfortunately, I would have to go a little bit more expensive than I want because I want the LCD, so I can see like temperature, and I don't have to buy a software to show the temperature, because it's so much easier. I just want to look at it and be able to see the temperatures of my CPU and GPU. So I was gonna buy this, $167. It's on sale. The reviews are okay. Noise level, value for money, noise level. Fans barely make a sound. Quiet, does get a tad loud. It does keep quite steady. I'm 99% sure that if your AIO is making bad noises, you installed it wrong, or you installed it not wrong, but not exactly the way you're supposed to. There's most likely an air pocket in your AIO that's causing your CPU to get actually. If there's any pump failures at all, your CPU temp will notice. Your CPU temp will go up higher. That's actually one of the reasons why computers fail. Is that the first thing? If you notice that your AIO is getting louder and louder and louder, if you notice your temps getting louder and louder and louder and they don't frickin' stop, then and your computer fails to turn on eventually, there is a 99% chance that it's a pump failure and that your CPU is just overheating. My CPU, unfortunately, I am going to have a problem with that eventually, where there's going to be one day where I'm not going to be able to turn on my PC, and this is the reason why, is because it's going to be a pump failure and my CPU is just going to overheat because my CPU gets very hot. From everything I've heard, the 7950X, it overheats. So, yeah. What else can I show? I think that's actually it. That's it. By the way, quick disclaimer, my 5070, because of the amount of shipping times and all that, hasn't got here yet. So I'll show my partial build of my graphics card, and then I think I'll post a video later. This one I'll post now, but I'll post another one later when my graphics card gets here, and when I finish the AIO and the different products installed. Like I have to get the AIO, and preferably I might get another SSD and like more RAM, just for it's nice to have, quality of life, aesthetic or whatever. And yeah, so that is it. So I'm tired of yapping anyway. So yeah, have a good night. Okay. So this is the PC build. That's the Vengeance RAM. That's the Be Quiet air cooler. The SSD is under the heatsink right there. It's just missing the GPU. We'll get that in probably a couple weeks when it finally gets here. I have the PCIe cables already ready, but I'm going to have to change those out most likely. Those are my fans. Let's look at it from this side. So those look nice. Yeah. So it's a nice case, and yeah, I think that's everything.